The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash, a roundtable of Cowboys insiders dropping wisdom and offering sizzling takes on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys. Now, your host, Newy Scruggs.
All right, Media Mash time right here on a Tuesday, heading into Thursday's Thanksgiving Day game with the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Football Giants. Mega Man Tuesday right here. We got Clarence Hill of All City Dallas, my favorite man from Eta Theta Chapter, University of Texas. I'm Newy Scruggs, Academy Chapter, USC Pembroke. All right, Longhorn. You got the Longhorns on. Mac Brown, who won you your last national championship in Texas, dismissed at North Carolina today.
You know, Mac Brown provided a program in Texas, so he'll always, have a special place there. Always be considered a legend there. And,
yeah, man.
And, they brought him back. He came to Texas from North Carolina. They went back home, so to speak. And, this shouldn't taint his legacy at North Carolina and Texas. Obviously, he's 73 years old. He's been through the wars. How old is Nick Saban? Is he older or younger than Nick? Because Nick stepped down last year.
I think he may be older than Nick. I believe so.
Yeah. And, he has a future as, I see Nick's on game day, but, he could possibly play Lee Corso. He has a future in that. He was good on TV before.
He's done that before.
Yes.
Mac did the TV thing before and wanted to go back to coaching. But just watching this year, James Madison tore them apart at home.
Yeah.
You got rolled up by a Boston College team. And it's just interesting because, obviously, when we talk about coaching football, Mac Brown, influential guy, just when we talk about the Cowboys, but, he sent players to the Cowboys. Today gone. Greg Ellis, one of the Cowboy coaches. Greg played for him. And I remembered at the time when the Cowboys selected Greg Ellis over Randy Moss, Mac Brown stood on the table and said, hey, look, Greg Ellis is a guy I want babysitting my kids.
No doubt. And Greg has proven to be that guy, salt-to-earth guy, great human being, great person, special person, all of that. And when you're, the thing about it is from a recruiting standpoint, from a future of the program standpoint, when you're 73 and you don't really have an heir apparent in place, that's always going to be an issue in recruiting. It's always going to be a question. It's a year-to-year thing. First, we're all year-to-year. Yes. We're all day-to-day, as they say. But certainly as a coach, it's a day-to-day thing, year-to-year thing. And those are questions that recruits and everybody's going to have to hear. You're not having a good season. You're trying to build a program, So I know he didn't want to step down. So they kind of
he did in Texas.
They made the decision for him and in the best interest of the program. So kudos to Mac for the career he had, with certainly the success he had in Texas, making us our last national championship, certainly with the help of the great Vince Young. And walk off into the sunset. He and his wife Sally, great people.
All right. Let's dive into these Dallas Cowboys here a little bit. We just finished listening to Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones making news, and something you've reported on social media as well. And I'll read Jerry's quote when asked by the guys at 105.3 The Fan. Is it crazy to rule out an extension for head coach Mike McCarthy? And he said, quote, I don't think it's crazy at all. It's not crazy. Mike McCarthy is an outstanding coach. This is a Super Bowl winning coach. Mike McCarthy has been there, done that. He has great ideas. In no place in my body language or anything else have I said, have you seen any indication to what we're going to be doing with this staff at the end of this year? We've got a lot of football left. Translated, Jerry, translator.
Well, first of all, what is he supposed to say? What can he say? It's the middle of the season. They just got a big win. He said numerous times, I'm not making a coaching change during the season. The fact that during the 5-game losing streak, I'm not making a coaching change during the season tells you there could be one coming after the season. So they have to big win. What is he supposed to say? To that question, he's not going to disrespect Mike on the radio, and he's feeling good about the win and all the other stuff. But I always go back to the famous Jerry quote. He's told me that many times. He said that many times, probably during the offseason. Just because I said it don't make it so. Just because I said it don't make it
Chris
so.
Beam. Producer Chris Beam.
What?
Producer Chris Beam.
Yeah.
What did I say last show?
Sleep at the wheel.
What did I say last
You
show?
said a lot last show.
He don't remember.
Chris is doing something.
Just because I said it don't make it so.
I
But
bring that up because that's what I was saying in the players' lounge. I was like, Jerry's the guy that said the famous quote, just because I said it so doesn't make it so. You're asking him this question 51 days after his last win. He's feeling good. Jerry's the optimistic guy.
Yeah.
This is what you say. You're saying this to him in November. The question asked to him in January is going to be different.
Right, and the question asked him before the season was different. And his body language before the season suggested you were thinking about making a change because you don't give him a contract extension. Okay? You put all the coaches on one-year deals and you say, I'm putting pressure on the coaches. That's indication. That's body language. What if I said, what if I indication I giving you that I could make a coaching change? Right. Well, because you didn't give him a new contract. And because you put all the coaches on one-year deal and you said you were doing it to put pressure on the coaches. Your actions said it.
And then I also followed up by saying Jerry can tell us all this about Mike. He's the owner of the club.
Yeah.
He can walk down the hallway, throw down a piece of paper, say, here's 4 more years. Let's do this right now.
Yeah, he could do all of that. So, I mean, again, I think Mike's a good coach. I think Mike's been a good coach. I think Mike doesn't get credit for the success he's had here. His first year he lost Dak for 11 games. Next 3 years is 12-5. Certainly they didn't get it done in the playoffs. Some of that's on him. Some of that's on a lot of different things. But, the wins he's had, this team has never quit on him. Not in 2020, not this year. He does a good job of taking care of the players and managing the roster that he was given by the front office. Certainly coming into this season, a season where your job is on the line, so to speak, where you don't have a deal, and that just says it all. When you don't have a deal for next year, it says your job is on the line. It says that if you don't reach a certain threshold that you won't get a new deal. You don't have to fire anybody. You just don't have to give them a new contract, and you don't have to give a contract extension. So that in itself says a lot.
Big time. You got a coach calling. You got a coach calling.
Stop
you,
it.
Boy.
Then
Texas coach is calling you, boy. The Longhorns going to do something? Longhorns going to send somebody to Carolina? What we got?
And then you got, they didn't really do anything to improve the team. So how do you?
There was a lot of holes in this. He was giving a team that had a lot of holes.
Yeah, and they tried to, they had a lot of losses. They tried to patch things up through the draft, which is generally not how you want to do it. You want to fill needs and readiness so you can be, pure in the draft. And so they really reached in the draft to fill needs, and you got a lot of young guys. So, you wait till late to sign CD and Dak, and CD misses all the training camp. So there are a lot of moving parts to this season and then you add in the injuries and a lot of things that have prevented Mike from having a year, what I said at the beginning was a season of the brink for Mike and the Cowboys, considering what was at stake from having a season they had. But yeah, he's done a good job of managing this team.
I go back in a stat that the Cowboys put out in the pregame notes, which is with a win on Thursday, Mike McCarthy ties Bill Parcells for 14th all-time in wins in the National Football League. And when you say the name Bill Parcells, that gives you immediate respect in the league, and that Mike is going to tie him. Mike is a Super Bowl winning coach, like Jerry said. And I bring that up to say, guys, as frustrated as people are, and obviously you look at your social media feed during the game, and in the first quarter, first half at Washington, there was not a whole lot of folks being very kind to Mike McCarthy on social media. But I bring that up to say this point. Mike is a good football coach, like you said. And at times people lose sight of that. This has been a challenging year. Yeah, but the owner feels good today, and he comes out, and it's like he's throwing hopium out there.
There's no doubt. And listen, and we can talk about it next segment. We got a lot to talk about. It was funny because Jalen Hurts said, talked about momentum. How flimsy momentum is. You can lose it or gain it in an instant. And they were a 5-game losing streak, right? Everything was in the dumps. They win 1 game. Now they got the Giants come to town. They win 2 games. And there's a feeling, at least among them, that it could flip.
Hope.
You know, and you know, so that's part of it. You know, and so yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are not mathematically eliminated. Jerry talked about, you know, we still in this thing. It ain't over yet. You know, so that's when you got all, and like I said, I've always said, why would you make any statements definitive about the future of anyone until
it plays out?
It plays out, especially until especially as long as you're still alive, so to speak, and you know. They're a long way from making the playoffs. They still, you know, they got to show some consistency. But, you know, they got 4 teams coming up with losing records. You know, and I would say, you know, it's funny because the worst loss on the Cowboys schedule was to the Saints, a bad team. Well, they weren't a bad team then, but everybody else is contending teams. They ain't lost to no punks, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They ain't lost to no
right. Atlanta could make the playoffs.
Yes,
Baltimore should make the playoffs.
They lost to all contending teams. They, you know, they have not lost to any abysmal franchise. You know, and the Saints, you know, since they had that parade, you know, they went down into the dumps. So, you know, probably look karma
hard to coach.
But all that stuff. But you know, so now they get to, hopefully for their sake, if they can get healthy, and certainly you don't have Dak still, but you know, get fat on some bad teams. Of course, they got to win at home. That's the fun. That's the crazy thing about it is.
Yes, haven't won a home game.
They have not. All their wins have come on the road. Of course, as I said before, the teams they played home been pretty good. You know, they ain't. You know, again, you got the Ravens and you got the Lions and the Eagles and you know Texas. I mean, they've played some good teams at home. You know, outside the Saints, which we thought week 2 they was going to be coming back. They scored 40 points a game back then.
Yeah,
so
wins against Carolina.
Now you got the Giants at home. We'll see if that can't win at home holds up against a 2-9 Giants team with Danny DeVito's nephew playing.
Well, yes, Danny DeVito's. Tommy DeVito may not even play.
I know he's hurt.
He may not play. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, when we come back,
let's dive into Jerry on tanking.
Let's get into that because Jerry spoke about it. Michael Parsons spoke about it. The locker room spoke about it yesterday, the whole tanking, because some of you folks out there had these dreams of Travis Hunter or some other type of player.
Shedeur Sanders, crazy.
I would hope somebody's not doing that, but okay.
No, that's the Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin.
I had lunch today and somebody brought up Michael Irvin again. Anyway, Clarence Hill, Newy Scruggs. This is the Media Mash right here on DallasCowboys.com.
Back finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Aikman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right. Looking down the field. Lamb. Victory.
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
I'm Cowboys alumni Danny McCray, here with Smoothie King asking, what's that sound? That's the sound of me sipping one of their power-packed smoothies with over 10 grams of protein. With real fruits and organic veggies, because at Smoothie King, what you see is what you sip. So grab a delicious Smoothie King smoothie, throw a straw in your jaw, and get sipping real. Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash right here on DallasCowboys.com. We're here at the SWBC Podcast Studios here at the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys. Got Clarence Hill, All City Dallas. Make sure you're following him. No Cowboys and Chill on Thursday, right? Correct?
No, we're at the game, sir. We're at the game. We're at the game.
So we got the week off from that, and then you'll be back the following week over there, correct?
Echo Lounge should have Isaiah Stanback with me next Thursday.
Hey, Isaiah Stanback, always good. Great insights when you talk to Isaiah.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And
he has a future in this business.
I'd love to get his insights on the whole move for the from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten for him. Just that adjustment of all that entailed being a diehard.
Yeah, they had such a good year last year.
Coach is gone.
Because they're Washington.
They won their playoff game, so there you go.
Who they beat?
You know. Again. You mean again?
They still Washington.
Again?
And we ain't losing our coach, Alabama.
Okay.
Our coach said Alabama not step up for us.
You're
Alabama want to step up for our coach.
He used to be your coach. He used to be the coach of Washington.
Alabama, and he left there too. That was a stepping stone. It was stepping stone job for him too.
Your coach used to be the coach of Washington.
It's a stepping stone job for him too.
Okay. Well, all I know is they beaten him twice, right?
They Alamo Bowl,
yeah.
Sugar Bowl.
Yeah. So
and it was still a stepping stone job.
Doing something right.
Still stepping stone.
Stepping stone, they beat you. So you beat you to step on, move on.
That's
so,
all right.
Okay. Good luck this week. Good luck this weekend, sir.
Yes.
I picked you to win. Don't let me down.
Well, how's Quinn's ankle?
You got Arch, right? You got the Savior coming in there. So there you go. Cowboys taking on the Giants Thursday, 3:00 over at Jerry World. This is a national game. Everybody gets this game. Everybody remembers what they were doing. As they grew up watching Cowboys at this time. The word tanking was hit about 2 weeks ago when the Cowboys got blown out at home on Monday night. And you started looking up there to see where they were at the draft standing. They beat Washington, and afterwards, Micah Parsons, you were there. It's like, no, I'm not here to tank. And then yesterday in the locker room, Cooper Beebe's talking about not tanking. Take us through the mindset so people out there have a better understanding of what the players and coaches are thinking.
Well, that's just it. I mean, 5-game losing streak, fans like, okay, we have nothing left. Dak is gone. We're not making the playoffs. The smart play is you have a lot of needs. On paper, the smart play is to play for a draft pick. It's what the Giants are doing. They bench their quarterback and go to the third-string quarterback. They tanking. They're ensuring they get a top pick so they can draft a quarterback or whatever else. And so there are people out there, draft nicks and everybody else, who are focused on the draft already and said it would behoove the Cowboys to, if you're not going to make the playoffs, you rather lose and get a higher pick than be a middling team and prevent yourself from really trying to improve the team for the future. Because the focus is about what can you do to win it all and what's going to help you get to that, back to the Super Bowl. Is it finishing 8-9, 9-8, making the playoffs, not making the playoffs, have a middling draft pick, or is it to get a higher pick? And so that's the mindset of people who are on Team Tank. And a lot of people are on Team Tank. That's never the mindset of the players in the locker room. We're playing for the jobs. The Cavante Turpins of the world, and the young fella Josh, who had the big game Sunday.
So
this is his livelihood. I'm playing for my life.
So also talk about some. Let's dive more into the conversation. Someone like Cavante. There are guys whose contracts are up.
Yes,
they need.
There are more than 30
film.
guys who are on 1-year deals. It's not just the coaching staff, and so. The Josh Butlers of the world who just are praying and hoping and waiting, was on the TV show All-American, who been on the practice squad and for a couple of years, and he finally got his opportunity to play against Washington and showed out. First undrafted free agent to have 12 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and a sack in a game. He showed out. This guy's not out there trying to lose. He's trying to survive in this league. And you guys got like Micah. I kidded with Micah last week. I said, Micah, I don't know if you're gonna make double-digit sacks. No, if you're gonna make it, you're a long way away. I think he had 3. before the Washington game. He had 2 against Washington after the game. Clarence, where are you? He's trying to get there. You still got 6, 7 games to go. But yeah, but people have things to play for. Mike McCarthy's not trying to lose, and as Mike said, we need to win. We deserve to win. It's just not good, and it's not good karma when you're trying to lose and lose. It bleeds in the next season. It bleeds in the off season, and so an organization is not trying to tank. Jerry said it's never come up in their conversation. They want to go. Jerry don't want to be saying we're tanking and have that stadium empty. That's not what we're looking for. Mike McCarthy certainly ain't trying to do that. That on his resume, on his coaching record, you talked about him closing in on Bill Parcells as the top 14 coach all time. Cooper Rush, those guys are trying to win. They're trying to stand it. Cooper Rush is a free agent. They're trying to show people that they can play in this league. So that's not on their agenda. That's not there on their schedule to tank.
And you talk about guys wanting to put together tape for next year. And so if you're a guy like Austin Richards, you're T.J. Bass, you're Brock Hoffman.
Yes.
You're sitting around here saying, what can my future be here with this team? And this is your opportunity through some adversities to show, hey, I'm someone you could count on. Or as we like to say, hey, go draft somebody else.
Right.
You're good here.
I'm fighting like him. And Brock Hoffman is a fighter. He fights in practice. He fights all the time. He was fighting out there on at the game on Sunday. We all know that Zach Martin might not be here next year. And T.J. Bass and Brock Hoffman are fighting to see who maybe can be their starting guard. And they need somebody to step up and be their starting guard. So that's one less position they have to go after in free agency, one less position they have to go after in draft. And Jared talked about, we got a lot of young guys playing. Everybody talking about playing for the future. Well, our future's right here. We want to get these guys rep so they can be part of our future and part of taking that next step back to prominence if that's where they're trying to go with Dak Prescott.
For the fans, hopefully they understood the whole segment here of just, hey, they're professionals. And
fans understand? Is that what you're asking me? Is that what you see? Hopefully fans. Because let's be honest, there are a lot of fans who was disillusioned coming into the season.
Okay.
About the moves they didn't make. And they were frustrated about the lack of playoff wins and success the last 30 years. And then the season goes off the rails. And so then they resign themselves. Well, at least we can get a high pick. So now they mad. Well, they can't even lose right. They messing up the high pick. So, they can't do nothing right. So you asking fans to understand when they resigned themselves that we probably not going to take that next step coming into the season because we didn't do enough. Then we start losing like nobody's business. Right. And now the hope is we're going to get a high pick. Either we're going to draft a great player, we're going to trade down to get multiple players to really take that next step toward the Super Bowl. And now you can't even lose right.
Watching the Scooter Magruder social media video, but So I'll say this. Yes, we heard that. We saw that on timelines on social media.
Yes.
It was on the post game show where Brian Broaddus was about to pull the last little bits of his hair out with fans on Sunday. I said the last little bits.
Okay.
I don't know. I got to check. Anyway, I'm trying to down on Brian. I love Brian.
We all love Brian.
But what Brian was
still look like dude from Back to the Future.
He was frustrated that, wait a minute, they just won a game and you're calling because you're mad about a draft pick. And Brian coming from the scouting side, I'm like, man, people don't put in all this work during the week so they can go lose.
No.
So they hope that, hey, we can say we were going to go draft 7th instead of 11th in the draft. So
and it's crazy to me because Cowboy fans, Washington, this is your rival. And I don't care what, there's a lot of rivals, but Washington is old back. That's tried and true. That's that rival from the George Allen days.
It's November. It's a November game against the Washington
and
team.
Their fans were riding high. And they thought they made this great turnaround. And after they beat whoever they beat, and they beat somebody a few weeks ago, they was chanting, after Chicago win. They beat Chicago with the Hail Mary. We want Dallas. We want that. That's what it's like. Oklahoma fans doing the horns down when they play in Alabama. Okay, Dallas is always in their minds. Okay, always in their heads, and it was in their heads. Cowboys have always been in Washington's head, and they're chanting. And the Cowboys go and beat them in the way they beat them with a crazy game. and fans are mad, they should be reveling. They should be excited. They should be say we got you again. That's what the fans should be.
Now, there were plenty of those other fans out there, too, who were happy to see the win, that were happy to see Washington go down. So, unfortunately, they got drowned out because usually we pay attention to the foolishness.
Yeah, no, we do.
We give the foolishness more credit than we should. But I would say this, as somebody who picked against the Cowboys to win, it was fun to watch those guys make plays and win. It was fun to watch Cavante Turpin hit the spin move, go up there. It was cool to see Schoonmaker, who'd been struggling, catch a touchdown pass. And to watch Butler make a play, to see Deron Bland get back out there. Yes. That was fun to see and good to see because the other part of it, we know them. We're around them. We see. You don't want to open. Hey man, lose for a draft pick. That's not my mindset, and I don't play. But just watching that team win was cool.
Yeah.
After 5 weeks, bro, 49 days between wins.
And it's crazy to me because everybody always talk about other fans taking over AT&T Stadium. And I always say it's 100,000 seats. The Cowboys can sell 70,000 seats, right? Which is bigger than
some folks' whole stadium.
Which bigger than Texas Stadium ever was. Texas Stadium only holds 66,000. Yeah, something like that. They can sell 70,000, 80,000 season tickets. It's still going to be 20,000 opposing fans in there. And when you're losing and when the Cowboys win, they're going to be loud. And you're going to hear them. And so that's not an indictment. Everybody's like, Dicey, Journey, let all these people. Well, you go to Washington, there were a lot of blue jerseys.
Always is.
A lot of blue jerseys. In that fourth quarter, when the Washington fans left, a lot of blue jerseys were loud and proud and having a good time. You should have seen it. This was the longest I've seen the Cowboys come off the field because they were celebrating with fans and high-fiving because we were waiting in the hallway waiting for the players, and it was the longest processional off the field because they were having a good time because there were so many Cowboy fans there reveling in it.
I don't know if you recall the time, if they allowed you guys down on the field back then before they took the passes to restricted us with the pregame access, but the time when John Wall was the star player for the Wizards, and he showed up in an Emmitt Smith jersey. Remember,
I was there. I was on the field.
That's the kind of juice the Cowboys have up there in the DMV area.
Yeah, and Jay-Z was on the field this past week. I couldn't get down there to get next to Jay-Z.
Yeah, I should talk to Noah.
Well, that's because the TV guys are down there. Well, I'm just saying.
That's right. You got restrictions now.
Yeah, we can't get down, but TV guys are always down there. But Jay-Z was there. And Dez Bryant was there in the suite with Jay-Z too, celebrating, giving them hell.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's take a break. He is Clarence Hill, All City Dallas. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1, any broadcast without the express edition of cook-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12, no crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31, anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Back finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Aikman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right. Looking down the field. Lamb. Victory.
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness.
Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash, Cowboys getting ready to take on the Giants Thanksgiving Day. The Giants are in a tailspin. They cut Daniel Jones. Their replacement for Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, is he's not practicing today. He's dealing with injuries. Don't know what happened with him on Thursday. So if he doesn't start, that means Drew Lock.
It could be Drew Lock.
Former Missouri Tiger will start. We got Clarence Hill, All-City Dallas. A lot of injuries, not just for the Giants, but the Cowboys got a lot of injuries here. The injury report is deep for the Cowboys here. As this last game, Zach Martin didn't play. Tyler Smith didn't play. So their starting two guards weren't there. Their starting tight end, Jake Ferguson, was out here.
Right.
So Deron Bland, Deron Bland was back, but the other starting corner, Trevon Diggs, was out. So what do we know so far here?
Well, Cooks could be a go this week. He wasn't ready to go last with Brandon Cooks. Obviously, DeMar Bland came through the game okay. He went through the walkthrough, yesterday, and he should be practicing today. Diggs is expected to do something on the practice field today. Certainly, the same. Tyler Guyton is he didn't play last week. He should be back this week. I don't. Obviously, Jake Ferguson probably not a go. With the concussion in a short week. Probably the same thing for Zach Martin. Austin Richards had a great game. There was a talk of him possibly earning a start. But he's now out. He has a high ankle sprain.
Okay.
But like I said, Tyler Guyton should be good. Tyler Smith has a chance to play again this week. CeeDee Lamb, the Warrior, he's going to continue to play through whatever he's dealing with. So, it's going to be some questions. But, hopefully if we may finally see Diggs and Bland on the field together for the first time. Something that, they've been looking for all season.
Go back into Austin Richards, who – during the game, they benched their first-round pick, Tyler Guyton. He got benched, and Austin Richards came in there.
It was part of rotation. They were rotating them. They were rotating the tackles. Okay, that's the official word. They were rotating. Them.
Thank you for the clarification. So,
but Guyton needs to improve his penalties. He played when he was playing. He did okay. It was the penalties that was his issue. Yes.
Drive killers.
And Mike McCarthy talked about that yesterday, that he has to get rid of their killer. He has to get rid of the penalty.
And so stay with me on Richards. You talked about he was playing well in that game and could have got a start, which would mean that the rotation ended up proving that he won the rotation here. Not playing this week out for the high ankle sprain. But going into 2025, you've got Richards, who's shown you, okay, he can help you. Mm-hmm. At worst, be your swing tackle.
Most definitely.
But with Guyton and then Terrence Steele, who's not had a good year at all. And one thing we know about this league is they'll go back and look at your contract and ask, does it need to be adjusted or they need to move along? What is his future in your opinion right now?
Well, that's the question. I mean, because you saw what happened to Michael Gallup, and the money's going to be an issue. Not living up to the money. We can save some money. There's thought processes of, what does Austin Richards look like? Is he a better left tackle? Can you move Guyton back to right tackle with this position in college? He was a right tackle in college. Would he be more comfortable over there? And could that bode well for the future? These are all decisions for the offseason. And that's one reason why you want to see these guys play. And it's so disappointing to the Cowboys that Richards has a high ankle sprain and is going to be out for a couple of weeks. Michael Parsons out 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain. And because you want to see that develop and you want to see him continue to go and get out and develop. So that's a huge setback. And of course, that's been the story of the season for the Cowboys. All these injuries and guys they were counting on to play or see or develop, it's been setbacks.
I'd asked Brian Schottenheimer a couple of weeks ago about Luke Schoonmaker, and he said confidence was an issue for Schooney. Got to have a lot of confidence after catching a touchdown pass in this game, and then the last 2 weeks being able to play and make contributions.
No, you need to go out to step up. Schooney and Brevin Spanford, the undrafted rookie from Minnesota, he had a good showing, and he can block and do some of the things. Because before last week, I think Schooney had played 3 snaps in the previous 2 games. They were down on him bad. And they was forced to play him because Jake Ferguson got hurt against Houston in the first quarter, and you make the most of your opportunities. You get a chance to play, you got to show up. That's one thing that Josh Butler did. He had been waiting and laboring and behind guys that we clearly see now that he was better than. at cornerback. And when he got a chance to play, he was ready to play. And certainly that's what Schoonmaker did, and certainly Brevin Spanford, they've stepped up, which is, good for the room going forward, because you know what you have in Jake Ferguson. Now you add those guys to the mix, and you feel good about that position going forward. Again, Lunda Wells, tight end coach, has done a great job with those tight ends.
I started to think about 2025 all the time as the season has gone on here. And to me, I think you're finding a couple of pieces where you say, okay, all right, Austin Richards, here's a guy that we can look towards, especially since Matt Waletzko and Josh Ball never became players.
Right.
That, okay, you've got something in Austin Richards. TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman, they win in the game. And they played well, so you've got that there. And then you talked about the tight ends, Brownies. Because look, right now we've been looking at Luke Schoonmaker, Mozzie Smith, the kids from Michigan who went 1 and 2 in the draft. Said, man, these guys aren't cutting it done. They're not getting it done at all. So,
Mozzie's had back-to-back good games. Mozzie had a solid game last week. He's part of the defensive turnaround. But they were pretty good against the run.
I said that was what we're looking at here, and now you're seeing these guys make contributions. Yeah. And as you're going into 25, that gives you some hope. That you say, okay, hey, look, maybe places we thought we needed to address, maybe we don't have.
You sound like Jerry Jones. That's kind of what I'm saying is that's what Jerry was saying on the radio when people were talking about tanking. Hey, we got the young guys we're looking for in the future. You guys talking about tanking to get young guys. We got a lot of young guys playing. They need to play. They need to develop, and they need to win. They need to get these reps, okay? Yeah. And as they're getting these reps, they're trying to win. And so that only bodes well for the future. When you got these young guys and you're trying to develop and trying to see, everybody kind of trying to, you don't have to purposely tank. You don't have to purposely play young guys. Organically, these things happen because you got guys that are injured and you have to put these guys there. And see, usually when people talk about tanking, they talk about what the Giants did, where they just benched their quarterback and then play the third stringer.
Right. Or the Jets even talking about
the Cowboys have had enough injuries that, to me, I call it a little bit of organic tank, because you have all these injuries. And so, when you're already losing, you got to play young guys. You think, well, they're going to try to win, but we don't know if they're going to win. Well, the good news is they did win. These guys did take a step forward. These guys are getting the benefit of development because they're out there on the field, and that bodes well for the future.
So let's kind of go back a little bit toward coaching right here. It's in the midst of a bad season for the Cowboys people didn't expect. Mm-hmm. But then I look at the Giants, and then I look at the Jets. What's going on there?
Yeah.
And
got Jets who did spend money, who did go and get a receiver and did do some things.
Use draft capital to go get Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
That's where I look in terms of for fan base, for the fans who are just said Mike catches a lot of heat. Like, guys, have you seen some other places here?
Oh, no doubt.
If you've seen what's going on in Gotham City, that is bad. What's going on in Gotham, and I don't know who's worse.
Gotham City, Jacksonville, Las Vegas. It's a lot of
Oakland / Las. Yes. I'm sorry, slash, but just Vegas.
I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of bad situations, a lot of bad teams, a lot of bad stuff going on out there. And again, these guys have not quit on Mike. They have not quit on Mike. They continue to play Mike. They're trying to win for Mike. And the good news is, as you see, they're taking hold to the teaching. The improvement on defense, and the defense has improved. You look at that game, you say it was a wild game against Washington. But what that defense did for 3.5 quarters.
For 3.5 quarters, man, it was good.
You give up that final drive and you give up that inexplicable 86-yard touchdown. But the defense played well for 3.5 quarters against a quarterback that everybody said was the future of the league and MVP candidate. That's why it just frustrates me so much, because Dak gets so much hate, and people try to say, well, Daniels is better than Dak and C.J. Stroud is better than Dak. Let them boys play. Let's see what they got. Let's see what the league does. They coming back to the pack to a certain extent. That college offense that
Cliff Kingsbury. No, look,
Coach Bro.
People get taped and they start figuring you out here. Are we good with Bones Fossil?
I mean,
special teams.
Yes, we're good with Bones Fossil. I mean, that wasn't what, because the kicker missed. Because the kicker. Where was ups and downs Sunday? You gonna blame You're going to blame the block field goal. You got to. I mean, but generally, they haven't had any blocks. But generally, but the missed field goal, that what he's on. He's one of the missed field goals.
Wait, Wanye still doing Wanye things.
Listen, Wanye should have gone down, because it's funny thing because Wanye last week, I do what the coach tell me to do. That was a play. He was supposed
do it again.
We was coached to, this is what we're coached.
No regrets.
I know you were coached to fall down too. You didn't do that.
Once again, I just said we good with Bones.
Yes, because you know what?
They won.
As Bill Parcells just say, Turpin's some of his work. Turpin is some of his work. Okay. Turpin is some of his work, and Turpin is. We haven't even talked about that. That's one of the plays, all-time great plays in Cowboys history. Yes, he's a Horned Frog. All-time great plays in Cowboys history. He, somebody would say that his return averages is better than Devin Hester in one of his best years. He's Pro Bowlers.
How do you pay him afterwards?
I don't know how you pay him. I don't know what you pay him. And then is he up this year? Is he up this year?
He mentioned he sounded like he was up this year when he was talking. But check it.
I don't know. I don't worry about that. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the career he's the career he's having. But
yes, their two Pro Bowlers are going to be two guys they brought over from the USFL. Turpin
the two locked Pro Bowls. Tyler Smith has a chance to make it. If Micah gets on the roll, he may have a chance to make it. We'll see. If he ends up with double-digit sacks, and everybody goes to the skip it to go to the Super Bowl, he might get in there. And I think Jordan Lewis has had a great season. No one wants to, really give him credit for the season he's had at cornerback. He's been one of the most consistent players on defense.
By the way, Tank Lawrence, do we have a date when we think he could come back?
No. We don't. I talked to him last week, and we talked about that. And he said, he's going to take his time and make sure it's healthy because he wants to play next year. And so we'll see. But hey, they get back into this thing. See Tank back on the field.
Clarence Hill, thank you very much. We're out of time here. It's 45 after.
You don't think they're going to get back? You just cut me off. They're going to win 4 straight. They got 4 games against losing. What if they win 4 straight and be 8-7? 4-7, 4 straight. 8-7. Boy, do you understand the talk around here if they get to 8-7?
It would be talk.
Do you think
Do I think the owner would walk in and the coach's office
he been drilling like a Cheshire cat boy
and give the head coach a contract?
I don't know about that, but I know he's gonna be grinning and skinning and grinning.
And you'll have another great.
Because they got to win at home. You got to win at home.
Starts on Thursday.
There you go.
We'll do it tomorrow, Clarence Hill. Thank you much. All right, for producer Chris Beam, I'm Newy Scruggs. This is the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!